how should I say this? Ladies and dudes, thanks to those idiot critics of hell and the stupid Oscar knob people who created the Oscar knobs for which movies that should have been Oscar worthy, I finally found a Liam Neeson movie that should have been an Oscar worthy film. And it's one of the most underrated ones of all. Well, anyway, hi ladies and dudes, this is Rebecca Lynn Barkley, aka Boopop197. This is my review for today. And I got some good news for ladies and dudes. I finally found another movie review that I really want to do for today. And you know me, and since I'm a big fan of the old great and mighty Liam Neeson, I finally found one of the films that I've been dying to do for quite a while. And I can't believe it. I thought about this movie for over 5 years ago. 5 frickin' years. And I do want to check out this movie so badly, and sadly it never showed up in my theater. Sadly to say. And I gotta tell you the truth right now, ladies and dudes. Since I'm a big fan of Liam Neeson, and he made so many great underrated films, I found an underrated film that should have been Oscar worthy. Thanks to those idiot critics, and thanks to those stupid Academy Awards for not mentioning this movie, now you'll find out why they suck! Big time! They bashed this poor movie. And this movie looks pretty darn good in so many ways. And I guess everybody wants to know is, which movie are you talking about? So for my next movie review is Mark Fell, whatever you call it, The Man Who Brought Down the White House. And yes, this movie is based by a true story, or the one that's based by a book, whichever you prefer. And yes, Mark Field is based by a real person, and he's known as the Deep Throat Dude. Weird nickname to say. Maybe it's because his voice sounded pretty darn deep, I think. Well, I'll just go ahead and tell you about my movie review of Mark Field's The Man Who Brought Down the White House. How should I say about the main plot of the story? All I could say, it took place in the 1970s during the time of the election thing. Mark Fields has to do his job about finding out some clues here and there about this Watergate business and finding out which one of these people who are telling the truth and telling a lie and all that important stuff, and trying to be a good family man who wants to find his daughter, and he wants to be a good husband to his beloved wife and all that stuff. That's all I could say about Mark Fields and The Man Who Brought Down the White House, since it's hard for me to say about the main plot of the storyline, if you know what I mean. And I guess everybody wants to know is, what the heck do I think about this movie? A Mark Fields Who Brought Down the White House. Well, to tell you the truth is, ladies and dudes, I really did enjoy this movie. It's a pretty good movie to watch. And this is the reason why those critics do suck. Big time. They just missed a really good movie that should have been Oscar worthy. And this is one of the most underrated films that Liam Neeson have ever made so far in his career. And he did a good job of playing this main character who is based by a real dude. I mean, seriously, it's a good movie to watch. It had a pretty good storyline. It had likable characters. It has nice cinematography. It had a very good score. It has good messages to it. Very good casting. And yeah, I'll admit, it has a few flaws here and there. Something I'm not that happy about. But overall, this movie should deserve to be an Oscar-worthy film. And it is one of the most underrated films that the great and mighty Liam Neeson have ever made so far in his career. And now let's go on to my strongest points and the weakest points of Mark Fields, who brought down the White House. I will say for the strongest point for this movie, and it's the most important one of all, is the great and mighty Liam Neeson's performance as Mark Field. I think he suited the character very, very well. And he did a good job with his performance. He really nailed this character so darn well. He's very mad, he's very serious, he's very concerned, he took care of his job very seriously. This is his most powerful performance that he had ever done in his career. They just picked the rightful actor at the rightful time for this film. And it's perfectly spot on. That's for sure. I will say that's the best, strongest point in the whole entire movie is the great and mighty Liam Neeson's performance as this really interesting character who is based by a real dude. And Sally got 3 main weak points of the movie. Just 3. There's smoking cigarettes involved. Bleh. There's a little bit of shaky cam and a little bit of editing problems. I will admit there's a little bit of editing problems in this film. I just found it a little part of the beginning of the movie. Yeah, I think the editing is kind of messed up just a little bit for this film. Yeah, it did rush the storyline just a little bit. They need to slow down the editing, that's for sure. You know, just don't edit too much or something like that. I'm not good at the editing thing. That's for sure. And yes, there was a little bit of shaky cam going on. There's a few shaky cams here and there that was in the film. I just wish that whoever did the camera needs to keep the scene very, very still so we can understand what's going on in the main part of the film. I'm not very good at that either. You know, about shaky cams. They better be careful with the shaky cam thing. Just make sure that the camera needs to stay still and just focus on the main part of the movie. If you know what I mean. And also, the smoking. Yeah, I know it's true in real life. There are some people who are smokers here or there, but I'm not feeling very comfortable of the great my Liam Neeson smoking cigarettes. You should understand he did quit smoking for good. Could you find a way to make it CGI or something that he smokes cigarettes? And not the real live ones. I don't want him to get sick and get involved with cancer. So we gotta be careful, you know, when you're doing a movie. We gotta be sure about the actors' health. That's the most important point of keeping an actor or an actress safe so no one will get sick or die from those evil monsters of hell. If you know what I mean. So those were my 3 main weak points I found with this film. A little bit of editing problems, a few shaky cam problems, and the cigarette problems. And now let's go on to some few interesting fun facts that I found with this film. It is true that the great my Liam Neeson played this guy named Mark Fields. he has to have white hair. Well, did you know that Liam Neeson also played a character that featured in white hair? Well, it's none other when he played the main character for A-Team. Does anybody remember that underrated action film that was based by a TV show? Yes, Liam Neeson did play a man who had white hair. Surprisingly to say. Yeah, I saw some parts of the movie here and there, and it looks good as it is. And another interesting fun fact is, the old great to mighty Liam Neeson and Diane Lane, I hope I got her name right, those two have something in common. They made two separate films that featured many heck no moments. Well, if you remember which ones I was talking about, you'll know what I mean. And yes, they're both films that are rated R. One heck no moment that's bad, and one heck no moment in a film that's decent. I'll let you guys figure that out for yourself. And also, ladies and dudes, there's another interesting fun fact you should know about this movie. There was going to be a director's cut about it. I just found it on the Wikipedia some years ago. There was going to be a director's cut about this movie. Some parts that featured with Diane Lane. Some parts that were left out of the movie. Something we did not notice about. I would love to see the director's cut of this movie, and this movie will be a little bit longer than the one that I did see yesterday at YouTube, since I saw it for free after all. So yep, those are the interesting fun facts that I found with Mark Field, the man who brought down the White House. And now let's go on to the characters. I'll just stay with one character I cared about in this movie. And that is the great to mighty Liam Neeson's greatest performance, his greatest role, and his greatest character that he have ever done so far in his career, and that is Mark Field. Man, his acting and his role for the character had truly blew me away from start to finish. He's a very, very interesting character. And this guy is so darn mind-blowing. And yes, like I said, he is based by a real dude. A guy who takes care of his job very, very, very seriously. He had a very good storyline. He has a great personality and attitude. He's a very tough-looking dude who knows how to take care of his job very seriously. And I'll never forget that moment in the beginning of the movie where he has to speak to those dudes about this really haunting story about some dude with a woman who is not his wife and all that stuff. And yeah, that part right there should deserve to be an Oscar-worthy performance. And I don't know why those Academy Award person who made those Oscar knobs, I don't know why they missed that part. I don't know why at all. They are so frickin' dumb. I really do believe that they're high on drugs. If it ever be true or not. I guess we'll wait and see what happens when time goes on. Yeah. It would have been better if this film should have been an Oscar-worthy movie. But maybe for a few categories here and there. But the one I knew best is for Liam Neeson's performance as Mark Field. I think he really deserves that Oscar-worthy nominee, if he's not going to win that award or not. But please let him be in an Oscar nom for Best Actor. He should deserve it. That's for sure. That's all I could say about this really cool character that was based by a real life dude. And now let's head on to my final thoughts of the film. Overall, Mark Field, the man who brought down the White House, is one of the most underrated Liam Neeson films I have ever seen so far in my whole entire life as a human being. I will say it had a very good storyline, likable characters, fantastic casting. I do love the cinematography. It had a really good score. It has some good messages here and there. And this movie should have been an Oscar-worthy movie. That's for sure. So I decided to give this film an 8.5 out of 10. Please check out this movie to believe it. And that's my whole entire movie review of Mark Fields Who Brought Down the White House. And tell me, ladies and dudes, which one of these movies, in your opinion, that is very darn underrated to you that should have been an Oscar-worthy film? Well, whichever it is, leave a comment there and let me know. For me, which movies that should have been Oscar-worthy wise will be Will Dafoe's film called The Hunter, and the other from the old great to mighty Liam Neeson is The Grey. That's for sure. And that's all I could say about that one. So, I'll see you all later, and sayonara! Oh.